Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back to your daily crypto news and analysis. And I hope that you are all having a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are out there in the world. I'm pretty sure that we could all agree on one thing, and that one thing is the fact that the SEC absolutely sucks at their job. Gary Gensler is a miserable failure to crypto, and we also know that innovation and ultimately opportunity within the US around crypto, it's being wasted, and it is something that I have been following for so long, as you guys are probably all aware of. I have been talking about this issue for a very long time, and it is because I'm very passionate about this space. I personally look at this space as the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity like the internet was, but on a much larger scale, because I do believe that billionaires will be created and forged through these utility projects. But the issue is the SEC is holding this industry back because I do personally believe that they are getting paid off by big bankers and even Wall Street to really kind of target specific players. And we do know that Ripple and XRP were ultimately targeted. Now, I did make a post back in April, actually, of this year, and I said that the SEC has wasted over 3 years worth of time trying to argue a never-ending battle with Ripple. The worst part is that the billions of taxpayer money that was also wasted during this battle. I didn't even mention the $15 billion in damages to XRP investors. Yet the SEC is asking for $2 billion. Like, come on. Absolutely ridiculous. Now, we do know that Ripple dished out also $200 million in legal fees. Just imagine what that could have funded in terms of the XRP ledger. But I said that the saddest part about all of this is the argument that this entire battle was to protect investors. All I have noticed from this almost 4-year-long process is a corrupt government agency trying to back a nascent industry into a corner. There is a clear motive to pick winners and losers, but also someone is also being paid. It's sad that we are still in the middle of this over 3 years later. And you can't afford to not be a part of this Discord. You need to join the free Discord down in the description below, as well as in the comments below right now, to get ahead of the rest of the market with 24/7, 365 access to information around crypto, including insights, trades, altcoin gems, you name it. You need to be a part of this Discord. So what are you waiting for? Click the link down in the description below, as well as in the comments below, to join today. You know, if you think that the $15 billion in damages to XRP investors is bad, just think about how much money got completely lost because of the SEC. For an example, FTX, $8.9 billion. We're already well over $23 billion when we combine that with the XRP lawsuit. But then we have Luna, which cost investors $40 billion. $40 billion, guys. That is absolutely insane. We're talking about well over almost $70 billion here. But it doesn't end there. Celsius, $4.2 billion. Then you have Voyager with this as well. Like, guys, when we're talking about all of this being put into perspective, it's well over almost $100 billion. Yet the SEC has the motive to sit around and think that they can call the shots on how much Ripple owes them. What about how much the SEC owes XRP investors or even crypto investors? Oh yeah, that's right. We will never get paid. But over here, we got a pretty big announcement at Consensus 2024, the largest crypto event out there. Big shout out to XRP Drops for this. We have live at Consensus 2024. The opening speech is perfectly timed to keep the momentum going. SAB 121, FIT 21, stablecoin bill, etc. 1030, David Schwartz on the future of blockchain and the XRP ledger. And check this clip out.
Developments that, at least at the beginning, are giving us a sense that the US actually may not be quite as hostile, right? We've seen a lot of focus on perhaps even a bipartisan approach to this sort of thing. Trump got a lot of attention last weekend, coming out and giving his rah-rah for crypto. But I think personally, the thing that really struck me was that 71 Democrats joined Republicans to vote in the lower house in support of the Fit 21 market structure bill. Just giving the sense that this actually may be able to get out of the kind of partisan politicization that I think was really bothering people going into this. And look, if we can remove that regulatory barrier that's been hanging over this industry for some time, just imagine what can be built with all the brilliant minds that come together here at Consensus. Incredible development.
And, you know, that is a good thing that he did mention there, right? With all the Democrats going over to support this bill against Gary Gensler, essentially, and even Biden. It was massive. And that is something very good to mention because we're now starting to see Gary's friends flip on him for the first time ever. This is a very good sign. And we talked about that a little bit. But also we have over here from Meta Lawman, we have, wow, I was listening to a panel discussion at Consensus 2024 just now, and this happened. The speaker, Thomas Farley, former president of the NYSE, as old school TradFi as you can get, drops this truth bomb on Elizabeth Warren. This is happening, folks. Check this out.
In college, there's this concept of the Overton window. What's acceptable? And Elizabeth Warren has made a very successful career of finding the very edge of the Overton window, the edge towards more government control. And she's found it. That's the acceptable edge, and she's staked out a very important position for herself. She is incredibly effective at wielding power and controlling Washington. And I've been saying to myself for literally years, and others, it feels like she missed the Overton window, but nobody seems to care. Like, is the public really as anti-crypto as she seems to believe? And I think finally, actually, you know, I'll give you an odd anecdote. On April 25th, I got a tweet, and it said, Elizabeth Warren to go after child sexual abuse. And I thought, that's amazing. I clicked on it, it brought me to her website, and literally the first words I saw were, Senator Warren encourages the DOJ to stop crypto. And I thought, okay, it's gone too far. She sees evil in crypto in every single respect, as opposed to, there are bad people there, as opposed to every other industry, let's regulate it, let's root bad people out in a really strong fashion. And I think she missed the Overton window. The Democratic Party finally woke up to it. And I think 5 years of evolution happened in 5 minutes. And I'm really, really optimistic about what it means in this country.
And you know what? He is 100% on par with this, right? Like, as we really look at Elizabeth Warren going after crypto and how it's, you know, this entire industry is just all going after, you know, illicit use cases and, you know, fraudulent use cases and illegal activity. But it's like, all right, last time I checked, it's a very small percentage of the market. What about fiat currencies? What's happening outside of crypto? You know, how are drugs being bought? Is it being bought with crypto, or is it being bought with fiat currency? Like, these are the types of things that, like, we're supposed to just forget about and look at crypto as the enemy. Like, you know, if we're really talking about what's going on here, Elizabeth Warren, you know, where did crypto touch you? Because obviously it violated you in some sort of way, because you're definitely targeting it. You're hurt by it. What happened? We want to know, Elizabeth. But the problem is that we know what's happening, right? She's in bed with these big bankers. Her, Brad Sherman, Jamie Dimon, even Gary Gensler. These are all individuals that are working together to not only just push the big banks forward, but also stop anything in their way that's slowing them down or eating off of their plate. And they don't like that. They don't like it one bit. Now, outside of this, there's also another great post by XRP Drops, and it's this. U.S. Congressman Tom Emmer destroys Gary Gensler. I'd be very careful about trusting a cornered animal with nothing to lose but its life. Gary Gensler has been the worst thing that could ever have happened to the SEC. he literally violates the mission of the SEC every day. Gary Gensler is on his way out. Now, I will say this. The issue that I have with these congressional members is the constant attacking of Gary Gensler and the SEC without doing anything, because it's very easy to say, hey, Gary Gensler sucks, the SEC sucks, but just sit back and just watch them continue to go after crypto. Like, is there any motive at all? That's why I do love the fact that we are starting to see these major bills being pushed forward and, major moves happening. But I want to see something more. I want to see, what we have been hearing about and waiting for so long, which is essentially Gary Gensler out of office, or even the SEC not having any jurisdiction over this space. But listen closely to what Tom Emmer is saying here.
Gary Gensler has been the worst thing that could ever have happened to the SEC. He has gone way beyond the authority that he has. He literally violates the mission of the SEC every day. What the SEC is supposed to do is, we want capital investment. We want new opportunities. And these guys are trying to stop him. His open door policy is the biggest crock of you-know-what that ever existed. It's literally, come on in, tell me what your project is, and then we're going to sue you. The problem here is that he has lost repeatedly. And as we've seen in the last month, his colleague in the Senate, both of them are starting to, they've lost their credibility.
Well, are they defanged? Does that mean, from your view, they're defanged? In other words, the crypto agenda is winning? Is it tactical? I mean, let me put it this way. If he's approving Ether ETFs and he's approved Bitcoin ETFs, and we see how they've taken off, does it matter if he's in that job for you?
I'd be very careful about trusting a cornered animal with nothing to lose but its life. Gary Gensler's on his way out. I think
regardless of who wins the election, do you think?
I think he is. Yeah, I think
so
he is.
There'll be a change.
I think you've seen him lose favor with the administration, and that's why you have a Chuck Schumer who literally leads the charge for the Democrats in the Senate to get rid of this foolish Sob 121.
Yeah. One other news thing I wanted to ask you about.
And, I do agree with them. I do believe that Gary Gensler, regardless of, Biden, Trump, it doesn't matter, right? Whoever gets in, I do believe that Gary Gensler is on the agenda to get out of the SEC, because there's no way, there's absolutely no way that he can withstand another, 4 years. There's no way that this industry can withstand another 4 years of Gary Gensler being in a position like this. Not with how much attacking has been, ongoing, and how much retail money has been lost. Now, outside of this, right, I do want to talk a little bit about this. So Brad Garlinghouse recently quoted this post by Tony Romm. Now, the post is deleted, but don't worry, we have the original post. We have, thanks for chatting, Tony Romm. For the first time in U.S. history, crypto voters will be a significant force for this year's elections. Dems, it's not too late to abandon Elizabeth Warren's anti-crypto army rhetoric and take a bipartisan stance with your GOP colleagues on innovation. It should never have been political in the first place. And I completely agree. But here we have the full post. So Tony does break down a few things around like crypto's new lobbying boom. But then we also have, I saw this firsthand at the conference in Washington 1 week before the House vote, where lawmakers joined crypto and openly mocking the SEC, and some members of Congress actively encouraging crypto lobbyists to canvass the Hill. Now, we also have down here, the story has lots, but I was not surprised to see the vast amount, or the vast efforts of crypto financed super PACs, which have supported candidates in the most unlikely congressional races. These candidates have publicly championed crypto crypto talking points on their websites. Some Dems, including Rep. Waters and even Elizabeth Warren, walked away from this week with 2008 vibes. Warren, it may look okay out there right now, but inviting crypto deeper into the economy without putting adequate regulations in place will end badly. Oh, how comical. Of course, Elizabeth Warren always pushing her agenda. But here we have the full title of this as crypto cash floods Washington, Congress eyes gentler regulations. Now, again, if you look at this, just really kind of gives us a solid breakdown of what's happening around regulations, what's happening around crypto. Realistically speaking, as we really address what's going on, I feel as though crypto is so big to the point where it's like almost impossible to even ignore. And anyone that's going out there and being anti-crypto or against crypto innovation and adoption, they are going to lose 9 times out of 10. Why? Well, we have well over 50 million holders within the US now around crypto. Do you honestly think that, a large percentage of that group is not going to say, hey, I want to be able to, invest into my crypto. I want to be able to utilize my crypto. I want to be able to, be in this space freely without worrying and overlooking my shoulder every single 5 seconds if the SEC is going to come in and harm us in some sort of way. Like, we don't want that, right? We want to be able to be a part of this journey without having a government agency going rogue and attacking the industry from every single front. Like, it's ridiculous. But outside of this, Brad Garlinghouse actually dropped a huge bomb, which is it's critical that the US catch up with other leading economies and develop sensible and clear rules for crypto. Ripple's latest $25 million contribution to Fairshake is an investment in the inevitable march of progress and adoption of crypto and blockchain technologies, the future of finance, and a message to backward-looking politicians that their failed policies will not be tolerated. And also Chris Larson, Stuart Alderati responded back to this and said, crypto has emerged as a pivotal issue in 2024 elections. Ripple will continue to support policies and policymakers that move the US forward. We must catch up to other major global centers that have committed to clear rules of the road for the industry. And I could not agree more. We 100% need things like this. We need to start really kind of, going out there to bat for crypto, because we can't afford for this industry to move overseas. We can't afford to lose something like this within the US, especially at a time where I feel like innovation is dying. And something like this could ultimately awaken a massive move towards innovation, adoption, use, and even job opportunities. Imagine the opportunities behind the space that's really kind of being locked away behind regulations. It's a big problem. So with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.